What is going on? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today it is week two's stock report for the 2024 NFL Draft. If y'all are new, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to that fun YouTube jazz. This was supposed to come out yesterday, but me being a tool ends up clicking the wrong day to drop my round two of my mock draft. So, if you guys like mock drafts, feel free to check that out. It's 2 rounds with trades. A lot of fun ones, including a lot of the guys who I talk about in here. Let's get right into this, starting out with our stock up and our stars of the week, beginning with somebody who's been featured on the pictures quite a bit, Jatavian Sanders. So he had 114 yards versus Alabama. Awesome. Love it. It's weird for me to do this, but hook 'em because, it's always nice to root for the underdog. And I've been kind of hoping that Texas could really challenge, and because they have a ton of talent there. Jatavian ended up showing out. Granted, Bama doesn't have the best linebacking core, nor, in my opinion, the best safety core. So I do believe that it's not nearly as impressive as if Xavier Worthy or A.D. Mitchell had gone off for 114 yards. Both of them got 75 and 78, respectively, Xavier and A.D. But in totality, I mean, UT did a great job. Jatavian, again, he has a great frame, 6'4", 243. I think that his routes, to me, were just a little bit under where I wanted them to be. I have a full tight end video breaking it down, so feel free to go check that out. But I would love to see him compete with guys like Durham Smythe and be that Mike Gesicki role that was there for the Dolphins. Granted, there's a new offensive system in there. I still think that he could work with a McDaniel/Shanahan offense because he's actually pretty damn good after the catch, too. He's a good tight end. Nothing that wows me, but a good tight end. And that's sometimes what you just need. That's what a lot of these tight ends are now doing. I think he's going to be top 40. Most likely, I have it at top 64, but most likely it'll be top 40 regardless. Still the same idea, probably an early to mid round 2 type of guy, unless he gets pushed up because the tight end class is not that good. This is a guy who I talked about last week, Kamen Rucker. So I watched him very closely. I don't think that he's going to end up being a high-level NFL prospect, but this dude has recorded 8 pressures last week, 9 pressures this week. So definitely like the stat machine. I don't believe that he necessarily causes the pressures from his own abilities, more so taking advantage of slip-ups from offensive linemen, which is great. Like, again, that's going to produce a lot of really good results. But I just want to pump the brakes because I was really hoping that maybe we found a diamond in the rough like David Van, who is an absolute monster. Jim Nagy just picked up on him and tweeted about him like a couple days ago. And, obviously, for me, watching Christian Haynes, this David Van guy's has been popping out to me for the past couple months, maybe the past month or so. So it's good to see that there's definitely some gems, some diamonds in the rough there. Kamen Rucker, to me right now, doesn't feel like it, but still flashes some good bend in there. He's not going to be, again, a highly touted prospect. I think he's going to be a really good stat patter, and, maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. He has a great frame, 6'2", 265. Didn't see the elite athleticism I was hoping for, but he has good bend for his size, and sometimes that's all you kind of need to have. So that's great. And we're going to bounce back to the Texas Longhorns with Quinn Ewers, of course, whooping Bama's ass. And, to be fair, it is kind of a skeleton of what the Bama teams used to be. Jalen Milroe, wasn't a fan of him from the start. Obviously, I had Alabama, I think, at 8 or 9 in my initial top 25. So wasn't really a huge fan of him. I had Quinn Ewers, or I had the UT Longhorns above him. But, I believe that UT has a super high level, championship level team. I don't know if they're going to be consistent enough to get there. But they've proven that they can step up to the challenge, and that's the good thing. Quinn Ewers, over 300 yards, I believe 3 touchdowns, I think 0 turnover-worthy plays as well. A team like the Broncos could certainly use a dude like that. Just being able to have him sit behind Russ. They have a lot of weapons, and then with his arm, it's just he already has issues with his deep placement, so it's not like he's going to have to deal with a different placement, or like he's not a pinpoint passer deep, to where now with a different air quality, or the air thickness, air density, he's going to have to adjust for that. Like, he already has those issues, so he's going to be learning how to be more accurate just naturally. He has to anyways, so it's going to be, you're going to see the best of his abilities, which is short and medium accuracy, continue to just be perfectly fine. And then the best aspect is the fact that he's going to continue improving his biggest weak point, and now he extends his range as well. I love it to death. I think that'd be a great fit for him. Now we have stock up the rest of the dudes who are not the stars of the week. Colin Oliver, he ended up having quite a few pressures. A lot of these guys I'm going to put on here because they had good pressures here. TJ Franklin, I'm pretty sure I'm slipping up on who they played Utah. TJ, I believe, had 7 pressures in that game. So good for him. Tyler Van Dyke ended up showing out this past week. Good for him because obviously that was one of the guys who was a top 3 quarterback for me coming into last year and, just ended up not stepping up to the plate. Jet Johnson, multiple interceptions. Awesome. Good for him. And he had some pressures too. So pressures and interceptions, like that was just a really baller game. Debated putting him as one of the stars of the week. Byron Murphy from UT, he's had 4 pressures back-to-back weeks, so really good for him. Jonah Monheim, how did I not change USC to a different color? Man, I spend so much time recoloring this stuff just to leave USC as blue right there. But Monheim's up to 300 pounds and playing really well. 0 pressures so far as a left tackle, and he was a right tackle last year at about 290 to 295. Good to see him finally getting up to NFL weight. We'll see once the combine comes or one of these post-season games whether he actually is 300 pounds. But regardless, we're going to take it as is right now. He's NFL weight. He has great ability, and he's not allowing pressures. That's a really good foundation for him. Then we got Darius Hodges out of Tulsa, another guy who put up significant pressures on limited reps. Most of these guys just have extremely high pressure conversion rates. Kalen Bullock had a pretty good game. Actually, I think both those USC safeties had really good days, multiple pass breakups. You got Jerzon Newton, who finally came back. He was one of my stock down of week 1 because he only had 2 pressures. Ended up eating up that Kansas O-line. And I love it. He was chasing down Jalen Daniels from behind, and Jalen Daniels is a fast motherfucker. So you got to see some really top-tier athleticism right there. Then we got B.J. Green out of ASU, another defensive interior that just ended up putting up significant amount of pressures. There's nothing really that crazy. There wasn't actually that many guys I took off the list. Like this past week wasn't necessarily the best for overall performance, but like guys like Jet Johnson definitely stepped up. Byron Murphy is a guy who I have now on my watch list because of the fact he's back-to-back weeks. And again, that's Bama's interior offensive line they did that against. So good for him. Stock down, starting out with our dud of the week, because I'm not really seeing too many duds. Maybe we'll have a duds of the week, but it's Braylon Allen. This guy had sub 3 yards per carry, and that's against Wazoo's defense. And y'all know me, I love Washington State. Now, I could have mentioned stock up on Brandon Jackson, Ron Stone back there. And you know what? I'm giving him a shout right now. But those guys, to me, are really, really good pass rushers with really great motors. Braylon Allen's designed to go right up the gut, and he just did absolutely nothing. I've been studying the running back class. Braylon Allen actually is the next running back I am going to officially grade. I might hold off for obvious reasons, but, I've never been a fan of Braylon Allen, and I feel like when you have guys like Rocket Sanders that pretty much they have the same frame as Braylon Allen, but they are significantly more versatile because they're better receivers, they're better in terms of their vision, they're more agile. Like, I don't understand the hype on Braylon Allen. They just see a guy who's 6'2", 245, gets the ball 30 times a game. Again, it's kind of what Jonathan Taylor did, but Jonathan Taylor was a lot more athletic than Braylon Allen. To me, just never has been one of my guys. But stock down, James Williams was one of the worst graded players in his game. It's very unfortunate because obviously I've been trying to be on the James Williams hype train. Safety is after running back, and then we got linebacker because that's what y'all voted for on Twitter, so feel free to follow me there. McKinley Jackson, he only had 1 pressure and just did not do very well. I think he had a 30 or 50% missed tackle rate as well. Just hoping that he does a bit more. Bucky Irving had 3.5 yards per carry. Not the best, but I actually watched that game, and he ended up looking really fine. I just wanted to put him in there because I'm having a hard time finding guys who are not performing well that are draft relevant. Then we got Ja'Cory Brooks, who had 0 yards on 1 target. He didn't receive that target either, which is not good. Dallas Turner didn't do too well either. I think he had 1 pressure. J.C. Latham let up 2. And then you had Jacob Cowing, who just has been putting up pretty mediocre numbers. So a lot of my guys, because Ja'Cory Brooks actually ended up being a top 10 wide receiver for me as well. And, just again, stats don't mean everything by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly got to tone it down a little bit. That is going to be the video. I hope you enjoyed. I like making this little series because it keeps me up to date on everything that's going on every single week. I know it doesn't perform well, but it's still there for those of you who really do enjoy being able to catch up on the week. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.